The objective is to have a Palestinian state on the borders of 1967 that will live in
peace and security.
The lesson of history is that peace and security do not come easily.
Peace and stability
Must decide whether we are serious about peace and security. To recognize Israel's legitimacy and its right to exist in peace and security. That's how we will find new pathways to peace and security. That is the work that we must do.
In peace and security.
Peace and security and coexistence.
A movement towards peace. If we have this triangle, economy, security, and peace, then peace can succeed.
It is morning. You wake up.
Hey, come on.
You greet your loved ones. You grab the morning paper. And although it seems like any ordinary day, it isn't. For one extraordinary reason.
A historic and unprecedented event has occurred. The question of whether or not we are alone in the universe has been answered.
This is so cool.
More ships have just arrived over India, England, and Germany.
I really don't think they flew 90 billion light years to come down here and start a fight.
We gotta stop them! They're gonna kill us all!
They're using our own satellites against us. The clock is ticking.
It's over.
Years from now, they're gonna ask, where were you when they took over the planet?
You'll be fine. I promise. It's over. I'm sorry, but it's over. I think it's time.
Your faith in us, but never in yourselves. From here, the fight will be your own.
We're running out of time. We're running out of clues. And there's an invasion coming. So really, we need to go right now.
War has started.
My dad said they come. He said, we ain't alone. He said, one day we find them. Or they find us.
How desperate are you? And you call on such lost creatures to defend you.
Our enemy can take any shape.
You have made me very desperate.
They could be anywhere.
We're not a team. We're a time bomb.
This is nothing we were ever trained for.
National news won't tell you these things. Listen to LibertyBroadcastingNetwork.com, and you will hear the truth.
Behold
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back. We are here again on the Liberty Broadcasting Network and 1710 AM if you're in the Minneapolis area. We're very glad to have all of you, and we have a guest with us tonight from the United Kingdom. Rabbi Simon Altaf is here with us, and his website, I should mention, is african-israel.com. And Simon, on this website, is that where people can go to order any of your books and things such as this, as well as to see what you're believing in?
Yes, Pastor Brian, they can go over there and read the articles. The website is in transition right now because, as you know, it was formerly called Abrahamic-faith.com. Now it's called African-Israel.com, so we're kind of transferring articles over to the new website as we go along.
I did notice it was a different title for the web page, and so I see. You're just in the middle of changing that up.
That's right.
Okay, and you were telling us a story then about a man who he was also a believer in Jesus Christ. This high-ranking man from Saudi Arabia that you met with.
This high-ranking official wasn't really just any ordinary person. This high-ranking official was actually connected to the Islamic prophet Muhammad. He was basically a connection right into the prophet's family, and he belonged to the prophet's daughter's family. So he then connected back the forefathers, the 7 generations, and he took me back to Muhammad's time period and told me who he belonged to. And not only that, his great-grandfather was a mufti of Mecca. It's like saying he's a pope of, Saudi Arabia, so to speak, or Islam. So he's basically mufti of Mecca, and his father was a very prominent figure on the Meccan committee, Hajj committee as well, the pilgrimage that they do each year. Apart from that, he promised me to show me his royal lineage. And the royal lineages for people like that are written by Egyptian judges, and they are not made public to the people. So a judge, when a new child is born in that particular family, the judge will record the lineage in a book, in a green book, and they'll store that, and they'll give a copy to each family. So that was the first time, we talked. And then the next time he came to England, he basically told me that first time he came, he wanted to believe. He wanted me to tell him about the Messiah, Yeshua, who he is, and he wanted to know more about him. So he became a believer at that point. And I guess, the website that the master had asked me to put up became instrumental in his conversion and to come to faith. And after that, he came back. He brought the royal book. He actually showed me the lineages, and he was connected. And he told me not to tell anybody about his name, keep it personal. And he showed me the connections he has to the king of Morocco, to the king of Jordan, to the king of Saudi Arabia. Basically, every royalty that you can think of in the Middle East, he was connected to.
So there's a kind of a family business being kings in the Middle East, so to speak.
Well, yeah, kind of royalty in the sense that he was connected to all the various kings, and because they are connected, therefore they have access to those places. They can easily go into political areas, high gentry areas, and they have access to them. And he, in fact, he was so honest with me, and he was so happy with me that he said to me that, you want to see any of these people, when I'm around, I'll take you and I'll introduce you, even as far as that. So, even in London, right, at that time when we were talking, I could have had access to the Secret Service head of the Saudi Arabian police force. I would have had access to people like the foreign minister of Saudi Arabia. These were the kind of people that he was with.
Well, did he ever get to proclaim his Christian faith, or did he have to keep it a secret, this man? I'm just curious.
No, he couldn't really proclaim it, and that's one of the things that he wanted to ask me about. And I told him that to preserve his life, he needed to keep that a secret, because in Saudi Arabia there's a strict law that if you convert, you are going to be beheaded. There is no two ways about it. There is no pleas. There's no plea bargains. Doesn't matter who you are. If you tell, if they find out that you're a believer, you're dead. Simple as that. So I have to advise him to keep that top secret, and then not to give his faith to anybody unless he knew he was in a safe place, whether he was living in America permanently or some other place, and then that would be the time to tell people. Otherwise, before that, it would be foolish to tell them.
Okay, I just was curious how you handle that, because I know Jesus says, if you're ashamed of me in this life, I will be ashamed of you in the next life, and these kind of things. But he does tell us to be as wise as foxes and but as harmless as doves, you know. And so
this is definitely not an issue of being ashamed. This is an issue of being useful for the kingdom, because, you know, he has uses for him in Saudi Arabia. So therefore, we have access, you know, to people, to places, and if a person just dies, just, you know, proclaiming that he's just been saved, I don't think that's hero. You know, we don't need heroes in the faith. We need sensible, wise, astute people who can, you know, further the kingdom. And that's one of the ways we do these things.
Yes, so I see why you told him to do what he did, and that's very wise. And but I was just clarifying that, you know, as to why you gave him that advice.
Some of us can.
Because I know other people were thinking that same thing, you know, on that passage. You know, so.
I mean, don't forget that in my particular case, I mean, I could have proclaimed myself, and I had very, very high political connections as well in my time. And I was, prior to my conversion, I had access to the president of Pakistan, you know, just by direct telephone. So that's the kind of political connections I had. So, you know, I told my family, but my case was different. So the master, you know, basically protected me. Basically opened up doors for me, bigger doors for me. But, you know, each one of us has different calling and different types of calling. You know, one particular man in Israel, in the Palestinian region, who was a Muslim, became a convert. And he started to go and give leaflets to people, telling them about the Messiah. And you know what they did? They cut his body into 4 pieces and sent it back to his family. So to me, right, we are not here to be martyrs. We are here to further the kingdom. You know, our purpose, sometimes there may be a calling in certain person's life where he may have to put his life on the line, but it's not for everybody.
Right. That's good. Okay, now, we have you on tonight, of course. We have a controversial subject here, folks, and I wanted to get Rabbi Simon his opinion upon the rapture, and this does not necessarily mean that I believe everything that Simon believes, but this is how we learn as we take and we discuss things, and we open the Bible and we see what the Bible says about different things. And this is an area that I think we should try to discuss a little bit about, just to get another opinion, another view. I know I've had men on here in the past who felt like that we're going to have to go through part of the tribulation period, if not all of it. And so this is not a new subject. It's just a subject that we broach from time to time to learn what others are thinking. And as we see the times getting more and more like the end times, it's good to know if there is that chance that we have to stay through, you know, we need to know to prepare for it. Otherwise, if there is going to be a rapture, we need to pray that it's before things get much worse. But all right, so your views, Simon, are a little different than the norm, I think. And so I just, in American society, especially in the Western society, well, you live in a Western culture as well. So what, well, I don't know where to begin. What do you feel? Why do you feel so strongly your view? Tell us your view first of all, regarding.
Well, let me first of all ask a question.
Okay.
The covenants, the contracts, the agreements that God has made with Israel, basically they were made with Israel. They were not made with any church. You know, no Catholic Church, no Protestant church, no Anglican church got involved in that. Our father